I'm C.
Should I put in my elbow here or here?
Don't put your elbow anywhere. This is my armrest. Get your own armrest.
I don't have one.
You do.
It's slouching down. It's going.
But what is it? It's an armrest.
Why is it supposed to go like that?
So that you can become. See that? That looks comfortable.
It's not. That's
and you were like this when we were going to Bali. You stole the whole armrest.
Rigorous. Gang looking rigorous. My champagne, but I'm rigorous. My campaign looking rigorous. Whole team hella rigorous. Lifestyle so rigorous. Hairstyle so rigorous. The top 5 ain't rigorous. If you left out this rigorous. Me and my niggas is rigorous.
Hello and welcome back to Sibu Mpanza. Welcome back to my channel, guys. We are finally doing the video. As you see it on the title, we're going to talk about how we met. The reason we're going to talk about this now is because you guys have been asking and begging, and every second comment, Instagram comment, wherever it is, it's how did you guys meet? And I always say I've already had this conversation with you guys. If you've been here since last year, I've been speaking about this. I've spoken about it more than once. I think you even spoke about it
twice
on TikTok.
On my TikTok, actually.
So people ask quite often, and the difficult thing is that I never have anywhere to like point them to. Even though I say I've spoken about this before, I can never be like, it was that video, because I did speak about it in passing. Because it's not really like this big story. It's not this massive story. The fact that we're even talking about it in a video, we're gonna try and make this video not 2 minutes, but it is like a 2-minute story. And then maybe we'll also talk about the kids and how that was dating a man with no children, and me dating a woman with kids,
2 kids,
and now getting married to her, and now being married to her for what are we, month 3 now, month 2, 3, something like that.
What? 2.
What's today's date? Almost 3. Almost 2?
2.
Almost 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of December. I don't think about now. Oh. Not the white people's marriage, Yolanda. I think about traditionally.
3.
So we're going to tell the story about how we met, and hopefully then you guys will stop haggling us. It's not all that interesting,
really
but
not.
we can get into it. I do want to say, we have different recollections about what happened, okay? I'm pretty sure that mine is more accurate.
Mine is more accurate.
She's convinced that hers is more accurate. But I will tell you that I think we followed each other on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, she's fine as hell.
I think I had posted, the reason you followed me is because we were mutuals on Twitter.
Oh, yes.
And I had posted a post on Twitter saying, could you please follow me on Instagram? Because I was trying to get like
campaigns
for Instagram, yes. And then a lot of people from Twitter followed me on Instagram.
Yeah, then we followed you on Instagram. And then I was like, oh, I'd never actually seen pictures of you. Just the nonsense you talk on Twitter. And so, there was that. And I think, at least from my side, okay, I will say this. I spoke to a friend of mine, after I followed you on Instagram, I spoke to a friend of mine who I knew we were like mutual. I don't think you guys are friends, but you're acquainted. And he lives in Cape Town, and I thought you still lived in Cape Town. I think I got that vibe maybe from one of your tweets or something, that you're like a Cape Town person. Anyway, so him and me were talking, and I think at some point I was like, there's this girl, dude, she is beautiful. But anyway, there's nothing. I'm not going to DM this girl. Then he was like, yeah, DM her, talk to her. Why don't you talk to her? And I was like, no, I'm not talking to somebody who lives in another province. I don't even want to start that mess. Because I'm just not a long distance guy for anything. Whether it's a relationship, whether you're just a talking stage, I don't want nothing if it's long distance. So I wasn't even going to bother. So when I said that to him, he's like, no, she's been living in Joburg. She moved back a while ago. I said, yo, my God is good. Oh. I was beside myself. But I still didn't DM her. I still did not DM her. You hear this laugh? It's because she knows it's true. I was happy about it, but I was like, you know, leave her alone. Also, I don't know, there's just something about like being a good looking guy and having you know, a beautiful woman DM you first. And so that's what actually
Oh
happened.
my God. That is
What happened is you know, I was just in my hot boy era, okay? I don't know how else to say it. And I think at that point, that specific day, I remember the first DM I ever got from this lady here. I just got in a haircut, one of these bad boys. Off the line, my boy. Oof, of the facial hair, it's sitting nice, okay? And I took a picture of myself because I just spent 150 Rand on a haircut, so I'm not going to waste it. I'm not going to go outside, but I'm going to take a picture for my 30,000 followers so they can see how gorgeous I look. And it was bait for a specific lady. And she took the bait. She took the bait. Hook, line, sinker.
Oh my word.
And then I got a DM. What did the DM say?
Actually putting you on blast. What did I say?
What did the DM say?
Where are you going with that?
Yeah, she said, where are you going with that haircut, sexy boy? She said something along the lines of, like, where are you going to run errands or where are you going? Something to do with that. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm also not sure what I said. And you were like,
Nice pickup
nice.
line. Yeah, and I was like, nothing. I stay home. I don't go anywhere. That Instagram post was as far as my haircut was going. I'm not going to go outside and... Anyway, but it was like a smart-ish, you know, like a little bit of a smart-ass response. And in the moment, I didn't think she was flirting with me. I genuinely thought that she was just asking, like... Then I messaged my friend and I say... So I started talking to the lady. And then the DMs were just going back and forth.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you remember?
I really don't remember what we were talking about.
I don't know. But there was a back and forth.
Yeah, it was like general things.
Yes.
Yeah.
We wouldn't talk for long. It would be like DM, silence. Then I would DM you, you DM me back, silence.
Yeah.
And we did that for like, what, a week, 2 weeks?
Yeah, I don't remember.
And then there was a glasses one. What is the glasses one?
Oh, you were like, you asked me if I wear my glasses often or something.
Oh yeah, because you have glasses, but you never wear them,
Yes.
compared to me who wears them all the time.
Yeah.
So that was one of my lines. I just wanted to talk to her, and I was like, how come your glasses are on sometimes and they're not on all the time?
And then there was a traveling one where
Which
you were
one?
like, yo, you travel a lot. Because I was like, always.
Oh yes,
Always.
there was.
Yeah.
You're always moving.
Yeah.
You're also always in a car. Yeah, Ndlela.
Yeah.
And yeah, then we started talking, and then I think we realized, oh, I think we're flirting with each other. I think that's what's happening.
I also sent a screenshot to my girlfriends and asked them, is this guy actually talking to me like that?
What did they say?
They said yes. Oh, Ayazi said, I must say something, and then that thing, I've literally forgotten what it was. She said I must say something, and then that your response will tell
confirm.
me.
Okay.
Yes.
And my response?
And your response was confirmation.
I don't play, guys, okay?
please.
I probably saw that, no, I'm getting baited here. And you know what? I'm going to bite because I wanted to know that I'm flirting. And I think from both our sides, we realized, oh, okay, we're kind of interested in each other. It was never like you can't really tell. I think if we weren't able to tell, it was more from a thing of being oblivious, not like a thing of thinking, I don't think this person is actually interested in me. Because once I realized, it was very obvious. And I think once you realized, it was very obvious. And then, what happened? Did I ask you for your number or did you ask me for my number?
I think you just sent me your number.
I probably did.
Yeah.
Okay. I sent you my number.
And then I sent you a WhatsApp. And you were like, no, like, can we talk on iMessage?
Yes, because I hate WhatsApp. I
Yeah.
loathe WhatsApp. WhatsApp is the worst app ever. WhatsApp is for family. Anyway, so I said, no, let's iMessage. And then we had an iMessage back and forth. I found out more about you. I think I found out your surname at that point.
Yeah.
I gay boys are.
Then he stalked
I
me.
don't play, guys, okay? This social media thing, I'm serious about it. You know why I have 60,000 subscribers? Do you know why I have something thousand subscribers, followers on Instagram? Because I know how to work social media, okay? Not just the front, here in the camera, but also the back. And so what did I do? I stalked. I went in. I searched for Facebook. I searched for articles. I searched everything. When I found out you're an attorney, I was there in the, what do you call it?
LPC.
Yes, I was searching, okay? I'm making sure I'm not being scammed. I'm not like being catfished or anything like that. And so I found out, I think on one of your Facebook pictures, it actually wasn't a picture. The first thing I saw was a post that you had written and you had made it sound like you have a child.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is peculiar, but there's no pictures. Okay. Then I go through pictures and then I see a picture and I see a picture of the cutest kid ever. The cutest girl. She looks maybe 1-2 years old, still very young, and I can see you're also quite young. And I'm like, oh, that's really, really cute. Anyway, I keep this to myself. I don't think I texted you about this at all. Anyway, then we move on. We keep talking. In the back of my head, I'm like, this lady has a kid. Sharp, whatever.
And then we had a 3-hour phone.
We had a 3-hour FaceTime. The first time we spoke to each other face to face, we had a 3-hour FaceTime. And it was like 2007, guys. We were
here. Our legs were
here. Okay, we were booming. This child, guys. It was fully like back in the day.
Really was.
Like we were kids again. And I think instantly we kind of felt a connection. And yeah, we spoke for hours, dude. We spoke about everything. I can't even tell you what everything was, but we spoke about everything. We spoke about our lives and I didn't even realize it was 3 hours until we were at like hour 2 and I was like, damn. We've been talking. Yeah. And how did you feel during that phone call? I'm listening. I've been talking too much.
I felt nice. I really did feel like a teenager again, Shem. It was such a nice call. Like, it felt like I've known you for a long time, and I was just opening up to a friend that I haven't spoken to in so long. Yes, that's what it felt like.
Okay. Then I bring it up. I'm like, hey, ladies, so I told her straight up, listen, I stalked your social medias, and I found a very old post of you with a kid. So I say, do you have a kid?
And then I said, I don't just have one. I
have 2. I said, damn. No, I didn't
He did not say damn.
I didn't say damn.
Oh my God, that is so sweet. He's probably panicking inside.
I was not panicking inside. I was shocked because I prepared myself for the one. I thought I called her out. And in a way I did, because you hadn't told me yet.
Yes.
So I was like, so, do you have and she said, I bring you one more. I take that, what you are saying, and I put down 2 for the price of 1. And I was like, that's so sweet. What are they? And she's like, I've got a girl who's older, and my firstborn, and I've got a boy who's younger. And I was like, that's so sweet. 1, I want to see pictures. I think I asked for pictures straight away. I was like, I need to see what they look like. She's like, no, we're on the phone. I said, ma'am, you can send a picture while we are on the phone. I want to see them cute-ass kids. And she sent the pictures, and I was swooning. Like, they were the cutest kids ever. But she had really, like, old photos of them. And in my head, I was already thinking, I'm going to take some new updated photos. These kids can't have photos from when they were, like, 2 years old.
And it was like Snapchat.
Instagram.
Filters
and stuff. And I was like, these kids need professional pictures, okay? I've got a Sony a6500. I'm ready. And yeah, we carried on. I think I asked you about the kids, asked you about the father of the kids. We just had a whole conversation about it. And then I could tell there and then that like you not being around your kids was a very sad situation for you. And I think you told me about working and like your dreams of having them over. And yeah, that phone call kind of started things. 3 hours of briefing.
Yes.
We had a briefing session.
Intense briefing.
An intense briefing session. But it was good. I really enjoyed that phone call. I think I remember after the phone call thinking we need to meet.
Yes.
Like we actually need to meet. We can't just be talking on the phone. I think we did then have like 2 or 3 other phone calls. And then we went on a couple of dates, like back and forth. I think 2 or 3 dates. Our first and second date was almost back to back. I think date 4 was sisters Wandi Chama. Yolanda Wandi Chama, guys. You know when they say the guy must set up the dates, they need to make the plans? Yolanda Wati, on date 1, I had told her that I was like an orchestra kid, and I love classical music. I love playing it. I love listening to it. And my original dream for my life was to be part of an orchestra and just like play for the rest of my life, be like a percussionist. YouTube was never what I wanted to do. Yeah, because you know you got me. And then, I can't remember, how did you survive? Tell me how you came up with it, actually.
With
that
what?
date. Us going to the orchestra.
Oh, the orchestra.
Oh, look at you.
I don't know, because you told me that you once played in an orchestra, and then I saw that online there were tickets. I think it was like June. Yeah, I saw that they were selling tickets to the orchestra. Where was it? At UJ?
UWC. UWC, Wits, yes.
Oh, yes. And then I bought the tickets, and then I said, we're going.
I went to Chamasham. She took me to an orchestra. I'd never been taken to an orchestra before. Ever since I stopped playing music, I just never didn't want to put myself in a situation where I see people doing the thing that I'd always wanted to do. So even though I knew that, there's many orchestras in South Africa, brilliant orchestras, but pardon me, I never tried to go to one of those orchestras. So when I got the surprise, I was like excited, but I was also like, is she really doing this? Is she gonna go sit through like 3 hours of Tchaikovsky for me? And
it was so nice.
It was so good. I think the times before we saw each other before that date, in between the last date and that one, I found out what pieces they're going to be playing, and then I sent them to you to listen to, so that when you got there, it would be like familiar. I listened to them too. I was so excited the whole time. And then, she came over, we got ready together, and we went to the orchestra. We got dressed, went to the orchestra, and it was an amazing date. It was an amazing, amazing date. I think that was our first very public date.
Yeah.
And I was very anxious.
You're ashamed.
I was so anxious. Also going to a university where most of you guys are at. Most of the people who watch me are undergrad, masters, honors, whatever the case may be. So there was definitely a part of me that was like, ooh.
What if someone sees
and they're like, oh, see me, dun.
Yeah.
Anyway, by the time we kind of arrived there and we got our wine and stuff, I was over it. And
we had a good time.
We had a good time. We had a very good time. I was blown away. The pieces were beautiful. The orchestra was just, it was amazing. We had a very, very good date.
We had an amazing
And I think that's when I was like, okay, no. She's, I feel wanted here. I feel listened to. Yeah. I feel understood. And she went out of her way. She didn't just get tickets for some random thing. She didn't say, hey, sound set is happening this weekend. Do you want to go? She was very specific, an orchestra date. This is what we're going to go and do. And that's how things kind of progressed. And I think, how was it for you after those first couple of dates?
In what sense?
In sense of being fun.
Well, it felt like I said, when we had the phone call, it felt like we were friends from an ancient life. And then when I met you, it was like a continuation of that. It didn't feel awkward at all, actually. It felt so, I don't know what the word is. It felt so nice. It felt so, there's no awkwardness. It felt like we've known each other for a long time. It felt like, I don't know if people believe in love at first sight, but it really felt like that when I met you, the first date even. And then obviously it progressed. My feelings progressed as we saw each other. But it was so nice. It was very nice.
I think it felt like that for me too. Yeah. I think I was in denial though, because I was we both, our past relationships before this relationships were very serious. And so I think for me, I was there's no way I'm getting another chance at this, a solid chance. It's not taking me 5 years to meet the person that I'm going to fall in love with. Because I think that was my expectation. I was well, give me another 5-10 years and maybe...
You're gonna be for the streets for
maybe, because I feel like that's what a lot of people, that's what happens to a lot of people, you get out of a relationship And even when you are ready to try again, there's a lot of trial and error.
That's what happened with me. Yeah. A lot of trial and error.
Because of the kids?
Yes, I think specifically because of the kids. A lot of people don't want to date or aren't open to dating a person with kids.
Yeah.
And it's understandable, especially if they don't have kids. But yeah, like I had so many instances where I had a date. For example, I had a date with a guy and he literally said to me, he said, so we start speaking, I tell him I have kids, and I ask him if he has kids, and he says, yeah, I have a 4-month-old or something like that, but it was a fresh baby. And I was like, oh, okay, what happened to like the mother of your child? He's like, no, we broke up before the baby was born. And I was like, oh, okay, that's okay. I can understand that. And then he literally said, but if I didn't have this child, I wouldn't have been on this date with you. He said that to me. He literally said that to me, and I was what? I was like, what?
Because he has a 4-month-old now. He's
now
like,
it's okay.
Now I have to date.
Yes, like it's okay to be on a date with someone with kids, but if he didn't have that child who's 4 months old, if it were 4 months before,
babe, you shouldn't have gone on a date with a guy who had a fresh baby.
I didn't know.
Oh,
I found out.
Oh,
literally,
there at the date.
And
okay.
he also didn't know I had kids. Yes, because we had been speaking. I think he was very, like, his work schedule was very hectic. So we didn't have time to, like, speak like how you and I did. We had a 3-hour call. We didn't speak like that. We were just speaking genuine. We decided we'll meet.
So he's saying this to your face?
Yes. And then I said,
crazy.
okay, yeah, no, it's fine. You can take me home now. Like
in the middle of the date?
Yes, because what else are we going to talk about?
I get that. That's kind of crazy to say. That is very crazy to say. Yeah, no. I think what I found is that with women, it's different. With women, they're like, I think firstly, people are like more chilled with women dating men with kids. The thing about a woman is that they don't care. Like, they will date a man with kids or they won't date a man with kids. And it's whatever, it's do your own thing.
Yes.
With men, it's like they don't want to date a person with kids and they also don't want other men to date a woman with kids.
Yes.
They make it like this group project of, if I wouldn't do this, nobody should be doing this. So I understand probably why you had a lot of those difficulties with these guys. Like I think that's what I found over the past few months is that men very much feel like it should be a group project. As soon as they feel like maybe having a child like degrades a woman, it should be like that for every man.
Their value goes down.
And so if you value a woman with kids, then you are not doing what they want. And I think for a lot of men, they date for their friends. They date for other men, you know, to see the beautiful woman or the woman without kids or whatever it is that they value. And so when you do something that the boys don't find appealing, then it's an issue. Yeah.
I feel like it's the opposite. Like, if you have kids, then you shouldn't go out with anyone, just anyone, because you have to find someone that you think is nice enough to raise the kids with.
I think I thought about that a lot when we were dating. I was like, I would assume that you'd be holding me to a higher standard than like another relationship, I guess, where there aren't kids involved. Because you're not just dating me for yourself, you're dating me with the thought that in the future, potentially this person's going to have to be around my children. They have to be the kind of person who's not just a good partner, but who's also not going to be like an awful person around my kids and to my kids. So, but that's life. That's society. South African society also. It's so crazy to me that like we have some of the highest like deadbeat dad rates, kids without parents. I didn't have a parent and a male parent, and at the same time, I don't know. It's weird. It's funny. I think to me, do you know what the thing I think is? And this is going to be a very unpopular opinion amongst the guys. Pardon me. I think a lot of the guys are traumatized and they're hurt about not having fathers. And so they think nobody deserves a father because they didn't have one either. I think that's how a lot of men feel, is the fact that my father was whack, my father wasn't present, and so
why must
I be a stepfather to someone, and also why must other guys be fathers to other men's children? It's a very odd thing. Instead of just thinking about the kids, which is what I think is the most important thing, is like the kids deserve parents. That's all there is to it. Like
literally,
it's so confusing to me. And the funny thing is, I had always wanted, if you ask any close friend of mine, I'd always wanted to adopt, because in varsity, when we did social development, which mixes some of the courses with social work, and then we learned about adoption and we learned about foster care, and it broke my heart, like to find out how many kids that don't have parents, kids that are the heads of their own household, like a teenager is taking care of their siblings with no parental, no parents watching over them, no guardians. And it's just like, it's so heartbreaking to think that then we have a society of men who think that it is an egregious transgression to take care of a child, just a child. Doesn't matter whose child it is, to take care of a child. But anyway, there was that. Anyway, while we're speaking about the kids, then I had to meet the kids.
Oh, yeah.
We started dating officially, and I had to meet the kids. Did we not talk for 6 months about what are they going to call me?
We did, We went back and forth.
About,
what do you think about this? No, because this is going to be like, we're giving them an impression. This is going to be, it was just a lot.
It was a lot. And I think I also was thinking, like, if and when, we get married and this thing goes, like, it goes well for us, I don't want them to get used to a name that
like
I
Uncle
won't,
Sibu.
like Uncle Sibu. Now they're calling me Uncle Sibu forever. I didn't want that. But also, I didn't want to be called dad by kids that, like, are not my kids at that time.
At that time, yeah.
And so it was very tricky.
Yeah, it was very tricky.
It was very, very tricky.
And then we came up with
that. Yeah.
Yes.
I felt comfortable because I call any man that who's older than me, older than me, that's like a dad level.
Yeah.
I called him da. Because I didn't want to be called booty by them.
And not dada.
And not dada yet. I was like, So we came, I knew it was going to happen. It's hot, Shem. It's very hot. So we went with da and it worked out. Also, I had a stepdad growing up. Yeah. And what I didn't want was that if in the future we decide to have children, I don't want them to call me what the older kids call me. Because we called our stepdad Butbanbani. And my little brother, who is his son, calls him Butbanban also. And I was like, I don't want that if that is what's to happen in our lives in our future. Anyway, and then it came time for me to meet the kids.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
First of all, no man has ever met my kids, like at all, except for, But like no one has ever met my kids. And I was so stressed.
And you weren't even that stressed until like the weekend of.
Yes.
That's when I think it really became real that there's going to be a man who's going to be in the same room as your kids.
That was so scary for me because I felt like my life was like divided into two. It always felt like that. It always felt like it's me and my kids and my family and my social life, my career and my in one. So it was always like this and I was always juggling it. Now it felt like these two worlds were coming together and I was like, oh my God, no.
It's like when your friend groups mix.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that feeling.
But it was very stressful.
And then we decided, we said, okay, it's school holidays soon. You were going to go see them.
Yes.
You were going back home.
Yeah.
And then we just decided, why don't I come with you? And normally she'll go home and she'll stay home. I said, obviously I won't be able to be there. So should we get an Airbnb? And that's what we did. We got a 2-bedroom Airbnb. 1 bedroom for us, another bedroom for the kids. Each kid had their own bed. And then we went to PE.
Yeah. Oh.
Tell them.
So, what had happened was...
What happened?
I packed a suitcase that was big.
Massive.
It was big. So I didn't think it was big because it was medium sized. You know how when you go in, you've checked in online, and then you go in, you can go in with a smaller suitcase. I thought that suitcase was not like that big.
She thought she wouldn't have to check it in.
Yes, it could go in like.
As soon as we arrived, I just looked at the suitcase. I think at the airport. No, before the airport.
Like,
when we were packing, I said, babe,
babe,
this is not the type of suitcase that goes up. She said, no, babe, I promise you, this luggage is going in the plane. We get to the airport, we've checked in online because we don't need to send any luggage. So we just arrived just before boarding. We arrive, as we're walking through, they go, yo!
Too big.
Now we're like, who are we going to leave the suitcase with? How are we going to do anything? Anyway.
And then Sibu said he's going to stay behind.
She left me at OR Tambo, guys.
He said he was going to stay behind and he's going to try and get another flight the same day, if not the next morning. And then I was like, okay, cool. That'll give me a chance to maybe prep the kids also. Like when I get there, take them to the Airbnb, just prep mentally.
Mentally. Yeah.
Mentally prepare them. And then luckily you got a flight.
I got not the next flight, but the flight after that, but the same evening. And so, then when my flight was, by the time I got onto my flight, you had already picked up the kids, like packed their clothes at home, and you guys were at the Airbnb. Then, I arrived at the Airbnb. She came to fetch me outside. I was sweating, guys. We were both sweating. I was sweating. I felt like I was meeting her parents. Like, it was that vibe, like meeting your girl's dad for the first time. And knowing that those kids are up there and we'll never get to redo the first time that I ever meet her. We'll never get to redo it again. So I was very nervous. Then I went upstairs, opened the door. She went through first. And they were watching TV, and then they came up to us, and Ulolo was like, hi. And I was like, hi, what's your name? I'm Lolo. And then Umahle, hi, what's your name? He ran.
He literally
ran away. And I said, you know what, it's fine. Yolanda was like, and I'm like, don't worry, let him run away. Let him take his time with it. And
then he came back.
And he he was very nervous. 2 hours later, we were all chilling like a happy family.
Literally.
Yapping, laughing, watching TV.
And they were even calling you more often than
it was always da. I was like, I met you 2 hours ago, dog. I met you 2 hours ago. What do you mean da? Anyway, it was amazing. It was really, really amazing. They were wonderful kids, beautiful kids, very kind, very loving. I was just very happy. It felt like a successful first meeting. And after that, we've been family ever since. Yeah. We literally have been family ever since.
They came over, we go there, they come here. Until they lived with us.
Until now they live with us. Anyway, that's it. That's the story of how we met. That's the story of how I met my kids also. If you want us to elaborate more, maybe drop some questions, and then next week we'll answer your questions that are in the comments. Otherwise, I'm happy I met this one. I met the woman of my dreams, my wife, the mother of my children, okay? And I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. I'm very happy with my life. I'm very happy with the way that it turned out. And there's still so much life ahead of us that, it's going to be something else. Thank you very much for watching this video. We'll see you soon with another one. Love you with all of my heart. Please become a member so that the next video, the next vlog you get it first. Otherwise, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you soon with another one. Love you guys. Peace.